Well, hello again and welcome to my wish list video. Thank you so much for being here today. It brings me so much joy to know that you guys are enjoying my videos, and I'll be honest, I'm truly enjoying making them for you. Today's topic was actually a challenging undertaking for me, creating a wish list of things that I still want here in 2025. And I might not be the only one who feels that it's kind of hard to be impressed these days. Is that like so snobbish to say? I mean, it has been a fun journey over the past 5 years that I have collected these beautiful, uncommon, and rare plants. But by now, I have almost everything I wanted. And I've even lost my taste for some things that I used to want so badly. And I've gotten rid of it, practically let it die or maybe given it away for free. And so these days, to actually sit down and make an official list of what I still want was quite challenging. But today we're gonna do it. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. These are not really in order of like where they are on my wish list. These are just things that I've kind of had on my radar for a while. I don't have any active plans to purchase anything. There's nothing that I'm specifically currently saving up for. Most of these things, if I am to acquire them, it will probably be later on in the year, maybe even next year, because as I've mentioned in a previous video where I gave a few plant updates and life updates, we're going to be moving soon, and I think I'm going to be building a greenhouse, and that's going to take up a lot of my cash for the foreseeable future. But regardless, let's get started with my plant wish list. So the first thing I put on this list was easy because I have wanted it for a while. I actually used to have one and it died. And you guys, I was not okay. And I'm talking about the Monstera Ocean Mint. I'll put up photos here of everything that I'm talking about, and I'm gonna try my best to describe them. Monstera Ocean Mint is just another Monstera sport that we have seen so many of these days. There almost seem to be too many for me, and I just can't keep up with them, and I choose not to because it's just too many. It's just too many, and when you have such a surplus of Monstera sports, and so many that hardly look that different from the next, I just can't. But Monstera Ocean Mint is one that I have wanted for a while, and that's why it's remained on the wish list. I'm not even saying that it really stands out or looks that different than the other Monstera sports. It's just one that I think I like the best. I think this plant was actually named really appropriately because I would describe the variegation as very seafoamy. It's like seafoamy in color and in patterning, and it's really, really beautiful. It also kind of gets contorted leaf shape, and I don't think that this is on every ocean mint. I actually think that there are two types. There's the type that retains the typical Monstera leaf shape, and there's also the kind that has a contorted leaf shape. I kind of like the contorted leaf shape because the variegation is kind of so odd that it makes the edges of the leaf also look like waves. So like it's a whole vibe, like the name Ocean Mint and just these visual images of the ocean with the seafoamy color and patterning of variegation and the wavy and weird and just like, the leaves. They're just, I think they're really cool. Now I did import one from Thailand it had to have been 2023, and I think I just was too confident in how well it looked after shipping that I just went ahead and potted it up in my preferred Monstera substrate, which was leca, and it lost all of its roots. And despite every best effort, I was not able to revive it. So there's still a gaping hole in my heart for Monstera Ocean Mint. And unfortunately, in the time that has elapsed since I first got one, they've gained enough popularity that the prices have also gone up as well. So I can't tell you when I will get my hands on another one of these. My favorite Monstera seller, I've talked about her before. She has one. She's got a mother plant. I think she's taken cuttings. I've pestered her enough that I think she knows I will be a buyer when they are ready, but she's told me that they actually take quite a long time. So it does end up working for me and my timeline because I'm not in the position to buy one yet, but it is on the wish list because it is just so cool. All right, kind of still in Monstera territory is the white monster tetrasperma. Yes, I know that this is not a Monstera, this is a Raphidophora, but if you're familiar with I almost said Monstera mite monster. If you're familiar with the Monstera white monster, beautiful plant. I do have one of those. The leaves come out and they're kind of a bright white minty color, and over time they fade down to a beautiful green, kind of like the Florida Ghost, but a little bit different. It's the Monstera version. The Raphidophora tetrasperma white monster, I think it behaves very similarly, and I think it would be really cool to have. Oddly enough, it's another plant that I did have. I bought an unrooted cutting from somebody and it just never rooted and it died. And if I'm being truly honest, I'm not that concerned with replacing it. If one pops up and it's the right price and it's the right time for me, I think I'll buy it, but I'm not really hurting for one the way I still ache for Monstera Ocean Mint. I just think it's a really beautiful plant. And I think that Raphidophora tetrasperma look really pretty when they are like bushy and full, almost like a hanging pot. And I just think if I had one of those of the white monster, where like some of the leaves were green and some of the leaves were white and some of them were still on their way in between those two colors, I think it would be really, really pretty. So Raphidophora tetrasperma white monster is still on my wish list. Everything else on here, and it's not much, it's 3 more things, but they are all Anthurium. So just a fair warning for anybody out there who doesn't really get the Anthurium thing. I'm going to talk about Anthurium for the rest of this video, okay? Next on my list is an albo variegated Anthurium crystallinum. I don't know what it is about the variegated crystallinum, probably just because that's an Anthurium species plant that we're so familiar with and it's so common. It's a beautiful plant, but it's definitely lost its luster for me. I'm just talking about crystallinum specifically. I have one. I can't tell you for sure if it's dead or alive, okay? Because it's just, what can I say? Like, I am guilty of neglecting things that are a little bit too commonplace. I'm sorry. If I haven't poured cash into it, it doesn't really hurt when it starts to decline, and I don't really try as hard. So crystallinum, although a beautiful plant and one of my first Anthurium, but the variegated one, it's like a solution to my problem because crystallinum is a beautiful plant. I know myself. I'm not going to replace the crystallinum that's currently dying with another just regular crystallinum, but every time I see that albo variegated crystallinum, you guys, it does something to me. It's so pretty. And something else is that albo variegation in Anthurium is a little bit harder to find. Easy to find yellow variegation, easy to find, what do people call it? They call it static variegation, where it kind of, we're in pollen season here in North Carolina. Everything is covered in tiny little specks of yellowish green. That's kind of what the static variegated Anthuriums look like to me. It looks like they've just been dusted with something. That doesn't really do it for me. Albo variegated Anthurium in general, yes, sign me up. And the crystallinum is just one that I have made efforts to purchase in the past. The asking price was just a little too high for me and I had to decline, but I still want one. I think it's a beautiful plant and I think it's definitely worth having. Side note, not an official entry on the list, but variegated Anthurium in general have kind of lost the luster for me as well, because when at first it was such a unique thing to see a variegated Anthurium that looked nice, because some of them just don't. Now it seems like there are so many variegated Anthurium, and I got to the point where I wanted them all, and now I'm at the point where I couldn't care less. Like, it's just, I think the market is oversaturated. But what I did want to unofficially add to the wish list is that I really do want something with pink variegation. I would describe myself as a pretty girly personality. I don't think I have anything pink in my collection at all. Like, I was never one for the pink princess, or what was the other one, Red Anderson, but I do love when pink does appear in a plant. I think that that's really cool. Like, I have Philodendron Whipple Way where the leaves start out pink, and I think that's beautiful. Philodendron Silver Angel that has a lot of pink tones on the abaxial and the cataphyll. I love it. My Gloriosum has beautiful stark white veins, but when the leaves are new, the veins are pink. Love that. So I'm not against pink. I guess I don't like the in-your-face pink, and yet there's a part of me that would really like to have a pink variegated Anthurium. I don't know if they truly exist though, because I've seen plenty of images of Anthurium that have pink variegation, but they're all emergent leaves. And as soon as the leaf hardens down to its true color, that variegation ends up being white or yellow, which is still really pretty, okay? It's still really pretty. All I'm saying is I don't know if there exists a plant that keeps the pink, but if there's not, I still think I would like to have a plant that has a gorgeous color display, a variegated Anthurium where the variegation does start off pink and slowly fades down to white. I think would be my preference. It's kind of on the wish list and it's kind of not, because I just haven't really decided if I do want that, but I figured I would throw it in here as just a verbal entry. It's not official or anything, but maybe pink variegated Anthurium. Next on the list is something that I think is unattainable. I don't think it's out there yet, but I do believe it will happen someday. And that would be a clone of Anthurium Basilisk, which is right here. And I do think that this plant is unique to Cartel Dawn. I was doing a little bit of digging, and when they first premiered this plant on their Instagram page, their caption said that Basilisk is the nickname that they gave to this plant, which is a no ID. So I think Cartel Dawn originated the name for their specific mother plant. And they've also said publicly a few times that they've never ever sold a clone of that plant. I know that they want to, retain as much value as they can, because it's a beautiful plant and so many people want it. So I can totally see why they're not just like, here's a clone, here's a clone, here's a clone. But eventually it's almost like imaginary value if you're never gonna sell one. So I think eventually they will sell a clone. I won't be that person. I won't pay that price. But then eventually maybe they'll sell another clone. And don't forget, the person who already bought one will have probably sold clones of that one. So I think that one day I'll be able to get my hands on a Basilisk clone. I don't even think they've ever self-pollinated this plant. Like, I really think they're gatekeeping it, and that's fine, because I think they deserve to, because of how gorgeous it is. I think it's a plant that deserves a little bit of enigmatic energy, like you love it even though you know you can't have it, kind of thing. I do hope that one day it will be available, and it will be on my wish list until I have one, because it's a beautiful plant. I haven't even talked about it. I haven't even verbally described it. I don't even think I need to, because you're looking at the picture right here. And the last on my list, I have a specific one, and then I have like, or just to anything like this. I really like the King of Spades butterfly. Butterfly is like a term in quotes. It's basically a word used to describe a king of spades with a wide sinus. If you're familiar with king of spades, it's got a very round look and lobes, ears that are pretty closed, but I think the wide sinus ones are gorgeous. I do think the term butterfly is used too flippantly. People will get a king of spades with like a little bit wider sinus than normal. And that to me does not that's not the standard there. It has to kind of look like this, almost like flat sinus or just like a very, very wide sinus. I just think it's beautiful because king of spades in general is a plant you can't go wrong with. It's got great color. It's always super strong, great grower. I love the veins. And so if I could just get my hands on a wide sinus one or a butterfly, that would be really cool. And then I also wrote down, or any kind of mutated king of spades. I can't really fathom other ways it could mutate besides wide sinus, but perhaps my imagination is just a little bit limited today. I just think that any kind of mutated king of spades would be great. I would really be interested to have one in my collection. I have 2 king of spades now. I've got like a typical one, and then I've got like an elevated one, but I'd really like a weird one. Does that make sense? And on that note, like, the expansion of this wish list item is that I really will take any weird Anthurium at all. Like, I say anything at all because I don't know what I'm looking for. It would just have to like strike me at the moment. But I am picky at the same time. So maybe I can't say I want any kind of weird Anthurium at all, but maybe I should just say I'm always on the lookout for the oddballs. I always have my eyes open for the weirdos because some of them, what happened there? But others are like, ooh, that's nice. So I can't really put it on a wish list because it will have to surprise me. It's like when you walk into Target and you don't know what you need, but Target will tell you what you need. That's kind of like this item on the wish list. I want more weird stuff, but I'll have to wait and see what that is and what it looks like. So I know that this was kind of brief, you guys. I mean, like I said at the beginning, these days it's hard to sit down and create a long list of things that I want because there's a lot of loss. I'm struggling with how to put this without sounding like really snobbish, but if you enjoy collecting rare plants, part of that is because they're rare and they're a little bit different than what you're used to seeing. And after a certain amount of time, when everybody has rare plants, it's kind of hard to find something that stands out anymore. It's kind of hard to find something that scratches that itch for something unique. So more and more for myself, and I think for others, it is kind of hard to create a wish list because there just aren't that many things that do it for me anymore. And I think that that's really good because I think that now myself and I think other hobbyists can focus on growing what we already have to like maturity or just learning more about how to really make them thrive and how to make them happy. So wish lists are hard for me these days. I don't know if anybody else identifies, and so maybe that's a question I'll leave with you. If you could share with me and with us in the comments, do you find it hard to make a wish list? And if you do, tell us how long you've been collecting for. I think that anybody new to the hobby could easily write a 10-page essay about all the things that are on their wish list. But I think those of us who've been collecting for a little while, it doesn't have to be that long. I've only been collecting for 5 years, and that's nothing compared to some of these people. But I'm just curious to see, those of you who do find it hard to create a wish list, how long have you been collecting? And why do you feel like it's hard for you to create a wish list? Is it because of money these days? Is the economy and the financial situation that you're in so different than it was, and it's hard to even think about putting money into these plants? I'd love to hear if that's your perspective. I also want to hear if there is anything on my wish list that happens to be on yours as well, because that would be fun to chat about. So thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you were able to make it today, and I will look forward to seeing you in my next video, which, you guys, I think the next one out might be a vlog of moving this whole collection to a new place. So please, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications, because you're not going to want to miss that video. I don't even know what is going to be in that video because I'm still a couple weeks out from it, but I think it'll be a really fun video and you'll get to see the new place as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.